Hello, welcome back to Sunday School and Talk. So we're going to have another primary lesson. So we're going to begin with opening prayer, then we'll have opening hymn, the sacrament in the children's songbook, page number 72. So this will be our lesson. So we were going to continue the story of Moses, how he freed the people of Israelites. So here, this will be covered for March 28 to April 3. And this we can read this in the book of Exodus, chapter 7 to 13. Remember this day in which he came out from the Egypt. So God want to remember the day that he let the people of Israelites become free and out of Egypt. So the Lord has power over all things. So the Israelites were in captivity and could not free from themselves, but the Lord showed his power and delivered them. So we're going to the story of Moses. So we're going to learn what different kind of plagues that God sent so that the Pharaoh will soften his heart and let the people go. So these are the 9 plagues. So he turned the sea to blood and he sent so many frogs in the Egypt and also some insect or that harmed the animals and died. And also the people got sore of their bodies, especially the Egyptian who did not believe in God. And so also God sent a great storm with hail and fire also came to Egypt. This caused terrible destruction. So imagine that you can see and how God and how terrible things that are happening in our places. And are you not being confused or worried about the things could possible worse to happen if you were not hearken to the person who told you that there is a God that has all the power to do everything. So also he sent also locusts here where it eated all their food. So this is a very terrible plague that came to the Egypt because of their disbelief and how he hardened his heart. And the Israelites are the people of God, the covenant people. And the Egyptian put so much pain and tasks and burdens towards them. So God is showing his power that he will protect his people and he will make them free. So the pride of the Pharaoh, even though there are a lot of plagues or that happen, God show his power. He still continue to lie, and he will not allow or let the people of Israel to be free or to go out from the Egypt. And he also thinking that who will work those tasks if he will let the Israelites leave that place. So after 9 different kind of plagues, Pharaoh still would not let the Israelites go. The Lord told Moses another terrible plague would come. So if someone will not believe until, even though how many times God show his power and will make the people see that they would turn to God or listen to the pe- to the person whom he sent. So worse will happen. So the Lord told Moses another terrible plague would come. The Lord guided and protected the Israelites as they waited for their freedom. So only that affect to that plague are the Egyptian, the people who did not believe him and who did not listen to his servant Moses or the prophet Moses. So in the Passover, in this last plague, we learned that God show Moses what are the things he need to tell the Israelites so that they will not be affected in this last plague. So the last plague, the firstborn son will be killed or die in that kind of plague. So in order for them to be not affected, the Lord told each Israelite family to sacrifice a perfect male lamb and paint the blood of the lamb on the door frame of their house. So this is why it's called Passover. So the plague passed on their doorways, on their homes, and they were not affected. So they were safe. So the Lord told the Israelites to cook and quickly eat the lamb. While they ate, they should be dressed and ready to leave their homes. So they were instructed also to be prepared to leave Egypt in that moment. So the Lord said, if the Israelites did these things, their firstborn would be saved from the plague. So this is the way that you will save from that kind of plague if they will follow the instruction. So like the Lord warned, the plague came. All the firstborn in Egypt died, including Pharaoh's oldest son. But the plague passed over each home that had lamb's blood on the doorframe. The firstborn of the Israelites were saved because they obeyed the Lord. So through obedience, they were saved. So because Egypt or the Egyptian did not believe the God of Moses, the true God, they worship different kind of God. So their all firstborn son were killed or died on that plague. When Pharaoh saw his son was dead because of this plague, he told Moses and Aaron to take all the Israelites and leave Egypt. So this is the only way that the Pharaoh allow or soften his heart. He saw the power of God. So he let the Israelite left the Egypt, but then he changed his mind. So they chased the Israelites. So in the Red Sea, we can see that also when they were camping, they saw already the soldier that are coming towards them. So we can see that they come on at the Red Sea. So Pharaoh and his army caught up to them. So they were being chased. And when the Israelites saw the Egyptians coming, they were afraid. But Moses told the Israelites that the Lord would protect them. So God commanded also Moses to lift his rod, and he was able to part the sea. And they walked to the dry ground. And they were safe from the Pharaoh and his army. So the army chased after the Israelites. When all the Israelites were safe on the other side of the sea, the Lord let the water come down. The Egyptian army drowned in the sea. So it got worse. So all his servant or his slave were already left the Egypt, the Israelites, and his army were also being killed when they chased the Israelites. So we can see how God protect the people or his covenant people. And they were so happy. The Israelites were so happy, and they worship God and they give thanks through singing and dancing. So they always remember the Passover as a time the Lord saved their lives and led them out of Egypt. So they were free from the slavery, from their burden. Now they are free people. So we can see how God protect them and how God can save them. And God show also all the miracles and power through that plague. So even though there were a lot of plagues, they were not affected because they were true to their covenant. They were people of God. So even though how worse the world become, or there will be a lot of struggle or sickness or different kind of plagues, if we become like these Israelites who become faithful and obedient to the instruction and commandments of God, then we will not be so affected or we will not be affected at all. So let's go to our lesson where we can discuss more. Here, we can see that we can read that also that the Lord has power over all things. So because of that plagues, it has manifested his power. So to make the Egyptian and the Pharaoh see he has the power over all things to let the people go. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. In Exodus chapter 7, verse 5, when I stretch forth mine hand upon Egypt and bring out the children of Israel from among them. So, but the Pharaoh hardened because of his pride. Um, he will not soften his heart or believe what Moses said, that there is really a true God and the only God that he should worship. But by this plague and manifestation power, they continue to harden their hearts. In Exodus chapter 9, verse 14, for I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. So we can know that There are a lot of kind of people who worship false god or different kind of god. So this is the only way that God can show His power. That there's no other like Him. There's no other powerful like Him. He is the true God. So even though there's a lot of plagues, they still harden their hearts. So the Lord can help me have a soft heart. So Pharaoh chose to harden his heart when the Lord told him to release the children of Israel. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of Israelites dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. So we can see that only them, the Egyptian, were affected by this plague, and the Israelites were not affected because they are the people of God. So we can see that God can protect His people and can save His people and put harm or affection to put it will give they will be affected if they will not hearken or will not let His people go. So there were a lot already plagues. And on the Passover is the only way that He let His people go or let the Israelites become free people. So that's why God commanded the Israelites to remember the Passover. And also this time, during our time right now, after before Jesus Christ offered his life to us, his body and blood, he instructed his 12 apostles to conduct a sacrament and how it should be properly also be conducted or performed, so that the people or those covenant people, the one who will worship and believe him, they should also partake the sacrament and remember that he done this to sacrifice his body and blood so that we can repent and we can be cleansed and we can return to the presence of God. So when we also take the sacrament, we remember the covenants that we already made during the time we were baptized, that we should always remember our Savior and follow His example. So these are the ways we can make a strong covenant to our God, and He will continue to protect us and guide us. And through remembering this one, we will continue things to Him by remembering it, and we always renew our covenant that we will be His people. And if we will be His people, God will also assure us that He will protect us and He will guide us. So we can also have here a video where God show His apostle how to conduct properly the sacrament and what it means. So this is an activity where we can remember what are the things we should remember. That is the Passover, where God protect His people and free them from the burden and continue to be a slave to the Egyptian. They become free people. And also also the sacrament, where we also have to remember the sacrifice of Jesus Christ and to renew our covenant to Him. So I know the things I have shared to you are true, and I would like to believe that in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you always for supporting this channel. Please continue to support by subscribing and like and share, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell so that you will be updated to the coming video.